Dallas, The Chosen season 5. That's amazing. It made it to season 5.
Yes. There was a time when that wasn't guaranteed.
Well, and that's the thing, right? This has to be so gratifying for you to see the success that The Chosen has had, to have 5 seasons. Clearly, it's become a little bit of a phenomenon, right, in the Christian world. What is that like after taking such a huge risk to actually get the thing jump-started?
I mean, I wish that there were moments for me to just kind of enjoy it and reflect on it. But I mean, as we speak, season 5 is coming out. My favorite part of making this show is when I'm done with a season and can release it, because the making of it is really hard. We're about to film season 6 and we're writing season 7. So, I mean, the train is moving. I don't have time to go, oh, this is really cool. I've got huge things coming that are happening now and next season. And so it's gratifying in the sense that I love what God has taught in me. I love God. I love that what I felt He was calling me to has proven to be a true calling. And that's gratifying, but I don't have much time to think about that. The hand is on the plow. I've got to keep tilling the soil.
Yeah. Which brings up an interesting question. Is it difficult to sort of combine faith with work? You know, because I think that when you are able to sort of immerse yourself in a story like most of us do, it's a different environment than when you're so intimately involved with it day to day. And there's so many things that you need to make sure that this story takes life for the audience. Is that a difficult thing?
Well, for me personally, I have certainly grown in my intimacy with Jesus from doing this show, but at the same time, it can be difficult to recognize that just because you're working for Jesus or you're telling a story about Him doesn't necessarily mean that you're close to Him.
Right.
And it's easy in any ministry or when you're doing a show like mine to go, I've got my Jesus time in because I'm telling His story every single day. and I can take that for granted sometimes. And I'm not great at keeping a consistent prayer life. I'm trying to get better at it. Ironically enough, I do best when I'm filming because each morning I'm so desperate that I'm like, oh God, please help me today and help me have wisdom and clarity and to get out of the way and to surrender to You. So yeah, that's sometimes the challenge is that sometimes the work can be so Jesus-y that you forget to spend time with Jesus.
I can imagine. When you look at sort of the influence of The Chosen, I'm thinking about House of David. You know, they've talked about how The Chosen was a direct influence on that show. That's got to be gratifying to see that The Chosen has been sort of an inspiration to a lot of other Christian filmmakers.
Oh, for sure. And as a filmmaker of faith, and as someone who grew up in the church and grew up loving television and movies, I can actually step aside and separate myself from this and go, this is just a really awesome moment in time. We're on a huge streamer. We're seeing, like the other day in the top 10, both House of David and The Chosen. We're in the top 10 on Amazon Prime. And I'm going, this is a Jesus show and a David show. There was a time, and I'm sure you know this, I mean, we've been in this work for a long time. It was unthinkable. And so it's a dramatically gratifying moment, not necessarily on a personal level, like I take pride in it. It's just wow, just as a consumer, I'm really excited.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your most favorite moment from season 5? What's the most powerful moment for you personally?
I would say when we were on set early on filming the triumphal entry, and there's 600 people all lined up, and they're going to be singing and worshiping and chanting, and we see them kind of gathered, but we're far away. We haven't gotten close to the city yet. And so we say action, all of a sudden we start hearing the singing and the chanting. And it is like something else. I mean, we were so immediately humbled and we were like, whoa. We had to like step out of it for a second so we could actually film the scene because it was overwhelming. And then when you're walking through that path and the people are cheering and waving their palm branches, and to them it's real. To them this is a moment to recreate the greatest moment of worship in the history of the world. They were crying, they were moved, they said it was the greatest day of their lives. And it's not an ego building thing, it's a humbling thing, and we'll never forget that.